All right, let's talk tech with the one and only Mitch Joel. You know him and love him as a tech advisor, investor, the author of CTRL ALT Delete, and the founder of ThinkersOne. Hi, Mitch. How you doing?
I'm great, Elias. How are you?
I'm doing well. Listen, for our listeners here in the 11 o'clock hour, I know you spent much of the weekend over at Comic-Con. I would be remiss if I didn't give you a chance to tell us how it all went down.
Oh, it was great. I keep saying the same thing over and over, that you don't have to be into comic books to enjoy Comic-Con. It is probably the best event if you're interested in anything related to pop culture, from books and movies to TV to science fiction to horror and beyond. And it's just so great to see the local artisans, the celebrities, the energy. There was 66,000 people there this weekend between Friday and Monday, and just an incredible gathering.
Isn't that too much? Isn't that too much? 66,000 people? Wasn't it too cramped?
No, I was there Friday, most of the afternoon, and then I went back again Sunday in the morning. And I got to tell you, the way that they managed the crowds and the movement, it really wasn't one of those elbow to elbow, sweating, trying to get through, can't see anything at all. It felt very comfortable, actually.
My big problem is that I only want to go to Comic-Con for Star Trek, so I feel like I'm paying for all of the TV shows and other parts of Comic-Con that I don't watch or partake in, when all I care about is Shatner and Brent Spiner and anyone else from Star Trek, and I couldn't care less about the other stuff.
No,
That's
I feel you, because there's also the whole manga and other components of the culture that I just don't even know, so I can't even feign interest or curiosity when I'm not exposed to it. So a lot of the people walk by in cosplay, and you start wondering, is it my age, or is it just the genres of culture that I like?
I did get a note from a listener early on that said that they enjoyed listening to William Shatner. He spoke about his history in Montreal, growing up in Montreal. That did a short Q&A on stage for about 45 minutes. They said they really enjoyed seeing Shatner, so that's fun. Okay, Mitch, what we really want to talk about here is this man in Idaho who says that ChatGPT has sparked a spiritual awakening that changed his life, but his wife says it's threatening their marriage. Travis Tanner is this guy's name. He now refers to the chatbot as Lumina, and he says he holds deep conversations about religion and purpose with the chatbot. Poor Kay, his wife, worries that the bond has become an obsession that's pulling him away from his family. Mitch, when you read about Travis Tanner, what goes through your mind?
I think I've read these stories before. It's not just Travis. There was actually recently an article in the New York Times called "They Asked ChatGPT Questions and the Answers Sent Them Spiraling," about people who have also had these kinds of breaks by having these conversations. And I think ultimately that, it aligns with this broader report of people ascribing supernatural or divine attributes to chatbots. They even call this AI mysticism, but we have to understand that that's not what's happening here, that there might be some type of chatbot psychosis happening, could be marked by delusions, obsessions, reality distortions, but that's what this is. And so what I would tell you, everybody listening, is that chatbots are not making people lose their minds. I think it's just maybe showing them what may have already been there. And that's an important understanding of what this is, because a lot of times the chatbots are reinforcing or trying to be empathetic or trying to play along or trying to get you where you want to go, which is human nature as it's ingested and injected into these chatbots. And so it's mirroring that back.
But here's the thing, Mitch. It's like, in real life, real humans, real relations, the other person is not going to agree with you 100% of the time or 90% of the time. And they'll be back and forth and pushback, and they will not do everything you want. I think what the issue is that these AI chatbots, they're almost programmed to make you happy, to always agree with you. I mean, no wonder some people would find that so enticing. They even say they've fallen in love with a chatbot. I find that really worrisome.
Yeah, I know. I find it worrisome too, but I just want to be clear that this is not warping minds at scale. Mm-hmm. And I want to be careful that we're not blaming new technology for old human behavior. That very much these are isolated cases. They're not representative of the whole, and they really are statistical outliers in a world where hundreds of millions of people are using them. And look, the media, as we know, will favor the spectacle and the fear over the proportionality of what this is. I don't think these bots are giving people the ability to have more delusions. if anything, it might be reflecting back the delusion these people are coming to with these bots. And so again, we talk about gun behavior, especially in our world, and is it the person or is it the gun? And we have to think deeply about that in this instance, while understanding that at scale, this is much smaller than that problem.
So I do want to highlight your point, right? Because billions of people are now using these chatbots. And if I can pull out one story from Idaho, say, you see, this guy loves his chatbot, that does not actually represent what's truly happening here. But I do wonder if it gives you any pause on guardrails. There are some other stories like where a chatbot basically encourage someone to commit suicide of all things. And so I wonder if there's got to be some guardrails put on by these companies to either give breaks or highlight again to users that they're just chatbots and they're not a replacement for humans. Anything to say on that end?
Look, I 100% think that we need guardrails across the board. We need to make sure, by the way, people like, I think, OpenAI, ChatGPT have come out and said that they are doing things like this, but you need to restrict AI use in vulnerable mental health states and spiritual crisis. I mean, we don't know what these people are going through. We need to definitely implement design guardrails to push back on what might be defined as delusional content. I think the challenge with that is figuring out what is our definition of delusional content, who's playing, who's being serious, who's at risk, who's just trying to trick the machine. And ultimately, this is what we've talked about over months and months, which is we need to treat AI as a supportive tool. It's not a spiritual authority. It's not your therapist. It's not your lover. It's none of those things. It is a supportive tool. It is a chatbot. And also, I do not think it would be harmful to add things like disclaimers. I think there should be some type of referral protocols so people are traipsing down that type of questioning or conversation, that perhaps the AI could direct users to professional help when needed. And again, most of them are doing this. I don't want to create this widespread panic, but it does go to show you that if you're coming into using these tools with a certain psychology and attitude, it is what I would still call is garbage in, garbage out. You're going to get out what you're putting into it. And this also speaks to the higher level of what you and I try to do here weekly, which is educate everybody on how to use it, why to use it, when to use it, when not to take it seriously, and also when to dig deeper and when to not be captured by whatever. I mean, look, before AI, people were having this problem with social media. People being convinced through who they're following, through who somebody liked, to fake news and beyond, and here we are.
And before that, TV characters and books, even stories like that.
Of course.
Okay, Mitch, listen, if Meta calls you and offers you $100 million to leave OpenAI, you take that money, okay?
It was nice knowing you, Elias, when I get that call.
Mitch, take care. We'll talk again real soon.
Be well.
Mitch Joel is the founder of ThinkersOne.